hooty hoo. Happy Wednesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear, dollar Avant. That's still double O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. Over here, y'all, it's day 35, day 35, day 35. It's day 35 of this 100-day challenge. And I'm starting to get excited. Okay, I've done this before. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. It's not even the fourth time. I've done this before. Okay, when I was just like, what if we go in? What if we just 100 days straight? I'm just going to do this. Let's see what else happens after this. And every time it gets different. It gets different. But yesterday I locked you in. I'm not trying. I am creating a pathway for those of you. Listen, I'm going to be on Substack. There's going to be things. Yeah, you're going to find your way to this video. It might be today, it might be this week, it might be 6 months from now. You're going to find your way to this video. I am here to create a pathway for you to go within. The revolution will not be televised because it's inside of us. We are the revolution. Okay, we're showing up. It's the greatest, highest version of ourselves. And that's what the 100-day challenge is all about. And tap in. But we're like a third of the way through this journey, you guys. And most people, they fall off. And then they want to come back in like, yay, like, nah, child, you didn't do it. You weren't there. You weren't there. But we're about a third of the way through. And I want you to just take a moment to just think about where you were. Listen, it's a month in, the end of the world. Because I said last year, I was like, oh, 2025 was crazy. 2026 is going to be crazier. And people were like, like, how could it? And then, January 2023 happens. 2026 happens. Like, what is happening out here? But also, if you've been locked in on this journey with me, just think about where you may have been. Some of you were day one versus where you are now. Let's just talk about it for a second. Because you might have been feeling overwhelmed or stuck or like, I'm not sure or I don't know or whatever that is. And we've been doing the work. We've been locking in. And the most important thing, I think my legacy from this 100-day challenge will be the clarity. Because, it's layers of programs. It's like, the onion. If you're a fan of Shrek, shout out to Shrek. Okay. He's like, it's layers to this thing. It's like an onion. And you gotta debug yourself. You gotta get rid of all the false programming so you could tap into what's happening now. I don't actually know a place that does this. Certainly not for people that look like us, and certainly not specifically for entrepreneurship. See, a lot of my challenges, like, they want to teach manifestation or even quantum physics or whatever. But it's like, yeah, okay, how do I take that and make some money though? Like, I need to make some money like on today. You know what I mean? That's what we do here. So if you're getting anywhere close to the clarity, or at least to know the questions to ask yourself, and y'all know I do a lot of work to make this a great place and a great community. And we don't all come together all at the same time, but we have some amazing people in this community. And, I'm coaching, I'm doing my one-on-ones, I'm doing all the things, right? And as I go through and do that work, like yesterday, this is one of my OGs now. Now, mind you, okay, there's levels to the dollhouse, right? So you can you're here. Welcome. You actually can't even get here. If you're streaming right now and you're just like, I don't know what's going on. I saw a notification and you still were connected to me somehow on social. Otherwise you wouldn't have seen the notification. But then beyond that, if you're like in the dollhouse, like especially if you're in a WhatsApp or whatever, like that means you either saw me speak live or someone who has. Like someone invited you here. Like this is a very special curated space. Like I'm purposely not super duper going crazy yet. Coming soon. And so there's levels to this, right? So if you come in the dollhouse and you just in here, okay, welcome. But then if you're like, nope, I'm getting off the financial grid. I don't know what I got to do, but all I know is I'm not doing that anymore. And you're locked in, you're an OG. Welcome. You're an OG. And then we got some people that they keep going and they lock in. I got people who are telling me they're making 10, 20, 30, 50,000 literally doing this work. I don't tell people's business. Just like I'm not gonna go stalk your social media pages. You can do what you want to do. If you don't want to be outside, that's on you. I'm just telling you, the whole world is over there. There's millions of dollars to be made right now on social media, not TikTok. Get off TikTok, y'all. Expose coming soon. It's so deep. The rabbit hole is so deep. That's why it's taking me so long. But if you don't want to be on social media, you're like, oh, I'm tired, I'm taking a break. Okay, that's fine, because you're Oprah. Like, you got time to take a break. That's fine. You don't want to be outside with your thought leadership. I'm not going to speak to that here or there. But people do what they got to do, and they get on the Comma Club, and they tell me that, and they show me the receipts, and I'm like, cool. So we're in the Comma Club. Honestly, I'm on a mission. Like, millions of people get a show on Netflix, Hulu. People calling. Okay, fine. I'm negotiating some things, but I'm just here to help 100 people design the life of their dreams, using their business as a vehicle to help them get there. And everything I'm talking about, resetting your internal identity and going through the stages and doing the thing, is going to help you get there. Okay. You don't have to even call me at all, as long as you get there. That's my mission in life. So outside of that, I was like, 17 people get in the Comma Club. That's not a lot. I know you make commas with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, but for me, that's $10,000 or more that you made just since applying the energy and the things, the frameworks from the dollhouse. And we're like, I don't know, we're close to a concert. We're getting close. But I don't want to tell y'all that, because I need y'all to push forward. I said, if I was joking, this was 2023 or 2024. I said, if 17 people get in the Comma Club, I'm doing a live concert, live band, everything. We're going to stream live. It's going down, ha, ha, ha. And then people were like, dog, just want to let you know I'm in the Comma Club. Like, we got requests now for for the concert. They're like, when you do this concert, because I'm getting to the Comma Club, you need to sing this song in my honor. So I'm going to have to shout everybody out for all the songs that have been sent to me for requests, right? Okay, so that's cool. But then there's a third level. And this is what I ultimately want. Like, if you never hear my voice again, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got time. You could be doing anything else at 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the 2 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon, middle of the day. We do have some people not on the whole other side of the world, but like 6 hours ahead of us. So it's like 8 p.m. over there? Europe. There's another level. You know how they say the revolution will not be televised? I used to say the revolution will not be televised, but it is on YouTube. However, slowly all of our social media apps are being co-opted. I need you guys to understand. I don't know if we have 3 years. I don't know if we have 5. I don't know the timeline, but I want you to know, just like Twitter/X was co-opted, TikTok just got co-opted. That's the only reason we knew what was going on in Palestine. I shouldn't say these things. I'm streaming. The window to the world has now been closed, because we can't trust TikTok no more. But I'm going to get into that on my Substack. All right. Eventually, it's going to hit Meta. We're on WhatsApp, Instagram. Y'all still got your Facebook and all of that. LinkedIn is owned by, is that Microsoft now? Listen, there's a window of time for us to be outside, and of course, YouTube/Google. But I do this work because I want the rise of, rise has a meaning over here. We reset our identity, we seek expansion. I want the rise of the brilliant ones, the billionaires. That's not my phrase, so I can't people like, oh, t-shirt. No, somebody said that long before me. But the brilliance that you have, I need to make your brilliance. I need to give you the tools and equip you so that your brilliance can match your bank account. That's my job. Without you being subject to the government and a check, and a Social Security check, and a pension, and a job, and a salary, and this and that. Do y'all know by they say we're 2 to 3 years out. 30% of all entry-level jobs have already been replaced by AI. I can't remember which CEO. I'm gonna do something on that on my Substack. It's just dollavant.substack.com. Like, just go there, because when I drop my scholarship, it's a lot. It's over there. But there are 5 tech CEOs: Elon Musk, the head of NVIDIA, the head Sam Altman. He tried to invest in Aquagenity. We said nah. Zuckerberg. I was leaving Harvard. He was coming in, and then the head of Anthropic. All of them. within the month span of January. While we were paying attention, they doing what they're doing in the street in Minneapolis and all this. They all said the exact same thing. Their prediction for what's coming. So we're within 2 to 5 years from like the whole world looking very, 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 very different. And if we're just going around like it's 1985, going around like everything is cool, everything is normal, we're not going to be prepared. We're not prepared. So my job is to let's the revolution will not be televised because it's inside of you. We are the revolution. Okay, that's actually my job. So I'm here to give you the tools to help you change your belief system right quick so that you won't believe the phone calls you get and the things you see on the news and the things when you're looking at your bank account and it's looking crazy. Like, don't believe that. Go within and know that your human technology, you can change that. If I can get you to believe that and give you a framework so you can get there faster, my work is done. So that's what I want. I want people to go from just being an OG, yeah, I'm getting off the financial grid, to like Comma Club. Okay, I made some money. Okay. No. I need you to be like, whatever a lot of money is for you, whatever is enough money where your whole family is good. If they shut the whole internet down, you're able to self-sustain. You got a community, you got a compound, you got some food, and you know what to do. That's what I'm trying to create, right? Because let's say I'm wrong. Let's say nothing happens and it's 2079 and nothing has happened. We all old women and men by then. Guess what? You'll be fabulously wealthy, and so will all of your children and grandchildren. Like worst case scenario. Like, but if I'm right, this might just save us all. So I'm committed to that mission. So thank y'all for being here as I clarify. I'm getting clarity, right, on what I'm doing. And over these last 34 days, we've been doing this work. We got this clarity. Who do you serve? Who are your people? What is your worldview? What do you stand for? Why does it even matter that you do what you do? How are you showing up in the world? All the things, right? We're not just looking out and talking about it and thinking about it in our mind like a passive observer, but we're actually in the work, right? We talked about founder opportunity fit, which I've only heard one other person ever say that before. This is like based on your worldview, based on your story, based on what you have to offer, your unique perspective. This is what you're creating and bringing to the world. Whose problems are you uniquely positioned and have proximity to be able to solve? It doesn't matter like, oh, I found this thing or I invented this technology or, somebody introduced me to this program. If you don't have proximity to the people who would use that, it's worthless. There's no value there. It's a game of concentration. You have to match, right? And hopefully you've been building your confidence by getting some reps in, talking to humans, being outside, doing all the things. And we know that if we get the clarity, we talked about this yesterday, and then we do enough reps to build confidence, that's going to get us moving at the speed of money. And that's where your cash flow comes from, right? So clarity leads to confidence. Confidence is what allows you to be present in the moment to create a real human connection. And then connection is the birthplace of all currency. So once we know what the environment is that lets us make that connection with people, it makes them feel like they want to feel, then we want to take that, digitize it, systematize it, repeat that. That's your business. Okay. So today I want to get a little practical. I gave you the 5, stages. People fall off in the Bermuda Triangle and they don't make it to the other side and all that. I gave you a lot yesterday. I'm going to share that resource guide again, as I always do. It has everything in it. But if you can get this part right, you could be okay. Regardless of what else is going on, you could be all right. So let me see. Hold on. There we go. So let's get into it. It's day 35. I had to count, y'all know, because I had a cheat sheet in January, but it's over now. So now I have to know what day I'm on. It's day 35. Okay, boom. It's day 35, and this is where we're going to get really practical because I need y'all to get some systems going. It's some things that we need to have happening in our business, and every single day, every day. So while my computer is malfunctioning, can somebody tell me how's the big five going for you? Like what are we doing? Are we getting any breakthroughs? Are we talking to humans every day? Are we doing the thing? What's the challenge for you? What's working for you in the big five? There we go. It's working now. But somebody give me some feedback. How is it going to like be consistent and actually show up for yourself and your business every day? Not like just kind of floating around and reading things, but actually doing the work.
Well, I talked a little bit earlier this week about feeling meh at the beginning of the week, and pushing myself basically mentally to do what I need to do because I know I have things to do. So yesterday I had a call with Anthony. Last night we just were talking, vibing about what each of us are doing now and how we can help each other, and so we had a really good conversation. So that was great. So he's on my CRM now.
Shout out to the dollhouse making connections out here.
Right. And yeah, so I'm excited about that and doing maybe some collabing with him. And I'm excited / nervous / excited to be on a live. I've never done that before.
Wait, when is this live? What is this for?
We haven't officially scheduled it yet, but I watched a live between him and his son that he had done a while back, just to kind of see what he was about, and I ended up watching the whole video. It was like 25 minutes long, maybe, but they were having really great conversations, really good touch points. So we talked a little bit about that, and yeah, it was really great. It got me excited. And we were on the phone for like 45 minutes. I didn't even intend for it to be that long, but we were just talking.
Very cool.
And it felt great. And it was, it gave me more energy. I reached out to someone else, 2 other people today through LinkedIn. One of them was from like a long time ago, back when I was in Oglethorpe. So I wasn't even sure if he'd remember me. But we were in a volunteer club together. So, it was like, you were in such and such club, right? I was like, yes, correct.
Yes, I was.
So,
right.
But, yeah, and he's in Sri Lanka now. So he said he would love to talk to me. I asked him if he'd be up for a chat just to see what he's up to now. But yeah, he's a lawyer and instructor back in Sri Lanka. So I was like, okay, I want to talk to you.
See, you worldwide. You don't even know what's going on.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
This is what I want to normalize. There's a couple of things I want to normalize here in the dollhouse, and I appreciate you guys for being a part of this because we are the revolution. Okay. Number one, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month. Normal. Of course. What do you mean? If I'm not making that, I'm not doing. Am I alive? Am I still here? Like, what are we talking about? Like, we're going to normalize making that kind of money because we are the leaders. We got to go back and get our family together. We got to change our family tree. Like, we got to get the babies together. We got, we can't depend on the government. I mean, what? Who's coming? No one's coming. It's up to us. It's up to us. So I would like to normalize that. I also would like to normalize, like we're talking about these connections, like we just jumping on. It's like, I don't know you, but I know you. I mean, if you're in this energy, like she's actually out of her mind. I mean, Daw's a little bit, she's a lot. So if you're locked in, like I'm locked in, then that means there's something there. And you could just connect with people in the dollhouse. Like this is what I want for our community. You know what I'm saying? But thirdly, it's 2:22. You got people all over the world. Like I said, we have no idea who, we already know people already in our network, in our energetic field that we can reach out to. And it would be like, oh yeah, because like, you don't know. You just got to go. You got to go before you know, because the energy knows. If intuition is speaking, that's your internal GPS. If your GPS is like, turn left, At the next intersection, are you going to sit here and have an intellectual discussion? Well, I always go right because the GPS said turn left. I need to normalize that. And then the fourth thing, somebody got to help me remember these four things. I'm going to have to go back and listen to my recording. Okay, because this is serious. I really want to normalize this. The fourth thing is part of what you just said. There was a story, the people that I was talking about yesterday or 2 days ago when I gave you the LinkedIn prompt. If you haven't done your LinkedIn prompt, we're going to do that on this week. I need you to post on LinkedIn before, don't do it on Friday. It's too late because nobody sees it till Sunday night. And then I don't know the algorithm. LinkedIn is behind. Like it has a lag. So like you might post something and it'd be like 2 weeks later. People are like, oh, this is great. Like I don't know what's going on with LinkedIn. But also 98% of people don't actually really post any content on LinkedIn. So it's just very weird, but that also is a big opportunity. But anyway, my LinkedIn people, my coach, I got a coach. She makes $1.2 million on LinkedIn using some posts on LinkedIn and some Google Docs. But anyway, one of her students who's also in my, I don't know, she know a bunch of people that I know. I don't know how to know this lady, but she's in Atlanta, but I don't know her for real. But she was on my coach's podcast, okay, talking about she done made about $250,000 the last, I guess, year on LinkedIn. Now, mind you, it's not fair because she used to work in Silicon Valley and she used to be a social media manager. It's whatever. Da, da, da. So she had a background. She had some context anyway. But she was talking about how her last couple of deals were literally just her going to an event. Like she would just like go to, oh, this summit will be there for 2 days, da, 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 in New York or in wherever. And she would just go. She would just pull up. The same meatballs and alcohol that I'm yelling at, but like slightly elevated. Like not the ones that are just, y'all, don't let them play in your face. But I mean, the good kind, where they're like, oh, we're getting together, like blah, blah, blah. But she don't have an agenda. She's not trying to pitch anybody. She's just there. And so, you blah, blah, blah. You meet, or there's your friend. Oh, what up? And then they introduce you to somebody, whatever. You have a conversation, just very casually, very conversationally. And then it's like, what do you do? So she goes into what she does. She got like 7 deals just from showing up. So what I want to normalize is let us do the work. Let us raise our frequency. Let us have a great deal of clarity about what value we provide to the point where we can just casually say it. If I wake you up at 4:00 in the morning, if I run into you in a grocery store, you're on a plane and you like trying to go to sleep, and then the person next to you is like just talkative a little too much. You don't know. He could be the VP of such and such and so at whatever company. You don't know. So if you're not like prepared, you don't have like your notes or whatever, and somebody asks you what you do, can you just casually go into a conversation about the value? This is the work. I want to normalize that, because if we can just get into it casually, blah, blah, then there'll be collabs and there'll be partnerships and there'll be opportunities. You get into the serendipity of it all. The part that we can't plan for, the part that makes it magical, the part that makes it, oh, I love it here. Like, this is amazing. Like, I need you guys to understand how my phone rings. I need you to understand people on the Grammys, at the Grammys, winning Grammys, also on my phone. Like, it's just like casually, yeah, blah, 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 by the way. Like, and it's like, no, I can't come to London. I can't do that. But when you're in New York next time, that does sync with my it's just like casually, like it's networks, it's people that it's energy. You made an impact, they remember it, it resonates with them, it lodges in their brain in a way, and then when you ask them for something, or you move in differently, or they see you online, or whatever, then they want to make a move because they saw you. I just want to normalize that, y'all. I just want to normalize that. But it starts with the clarity, okay? But then this clarity without structure, it's just me talking. It's just philosophy. And I don't want my platform to be that. I can go into the quantum physics of it all. I could do that all day. But we got to go to the actual practical part, okay? So we need to give people a way to pay us. Like a very clear pathway, like breadcrumbs, like, hey, I just met you now. And then next step, next step, next step, next step. So we have to recognize the fact that people are at different stages, different levels. Shout out to y'all who are on the streaming, by the way. I see you. What up though? Put your name in the chat, because you know I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't see it. Don't say it. Just say some random username. I don't know who that is. I don't know what it is. So put a shout out. Okay. People are at different stages along the decision-making process. We don't know if like they're just like considering, they're just, trying to see what's out here. If they're like, no, I need something now, I need a solution today, or somewhere in between. So you have to have things that are prepared, I guess, the best way to say it, to meet people where they are on that journey. So today we got to crystallize this clarity into some language that people can understand. We're going to revisit our big five, because without which, don't talk to me about being in the NBA finals and you can't dribble, pass, and shoot. What is happening right now? What are we doing? So if I ask you your pitch and you're like, I wasn't ready, I got to get my notes. You're not ready for the big time. You're not ready. You're not ready. Okay. If I'm like, okay, take me on a mock journey. I asked one of our OGs now. That's why I told that whole story about OG to Comma Club to We Are the Revolution, Billionaires, whatever. Because one of my OGs, of course, everybody's revisiting and tweaking their pitch and updating and transitioning and all that. But I said, okay, whatever she does, I asked her a question about that. And she said, well, I helped. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. I said, why does that matter right now? What's the urgency about that now? And I mean, she's in her 50s. She's brilliant. She's had 2-3 careers at this point. And she said, you know what? I don't know the answer. I can't answer that. And I was like, okay, that's your homework. Like, I'm going to need some clarity to be, crystallized down into language that just becomes second nature. It's literally like if you meet, insert your favorite singer of choice. I'm not here to debate musical styles right now, or hip hop artists. Okay. So if you don't like Kendrick, you don't like Beyonce, insert your artist of choice. But if I were to go to said artist and I'm like, okay, just sing something for me right quick. Or just, give me a couple bars right quick. If the answer that they say, well, I don't really know what to say. I'm not sure what to sing. I don't know. Everything stops right there. Like nothing moves past that. Okay. So I want you to fast, rewind, I should say, back to before anybody knew who Kendrick was, before anybody knew who Beyonce was, or insert your artist of choice. Apparently, some people are canceling Jay-Z, Beyonce again. Because I can't even say that word because I'm streaming. Y'all know. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's fine. Anyway, insert your artist of choice. But rewind before they were famous. And okay, the people who make the decisions about who gets a record deal, who gets on TV, who gets the Netflix deal, who gets the next Hulu, whatever. You've never met these people in your life. You've never heard of them. They're not on social media. If you were to walk in a room right now, go into a cafe, go into a restaurant, you're sitting down, you're having your meal, they could be sitting right across from you. You would not know these people from Adam. You wouldn't. So you have to be ready because you don't know. You could be on an airplane, you could be somewhere and sitting in the bar and somebody's like, hey, so what do you do? Da, da, da. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know whose grandmother. You don't know whose cousin. Okay. So if you can't articulate your value and somebody asks you off script, not on stage, not I prepared, not as a pitch competition, just regular time, then we have work to do. So we got to get into the big five and make sure that you're tapping into something that feels natural to you. The same as you breathe, you got to communicate value. Okay. We need an offer ladder, a value ladder, if you will, to try to give 2 to 4 pathways for people to actually pay you some money. And then we got to try to build out the environment around that so people kind of naturally progress through and, go from your free to your signature offer. Okay. So we got to turn this clarity into cash flow. That's what we want to know. So here we go. If you're taking notes, you should be able to answer what pain you've solved in the past, what you've been paid for. Not really what you're passionate about, but like what's aligned with something that you would keep working on and keep what, motivates you to keep going. Your worldview, something, it's a problem you want to solve, right? We worked on our 1-sentence clarity statement yesterday. I help this kind of person solve this kind of problem by, how do you do that? So that they can get whatever desired outcome. I only heard one or two people do that yesterday. Does anybody want to try that today? I need to know what's the clarity. Like, what is it that you actually do for people? And can you say it in a way that makes sense? As opposed to, I'm in real estate. You know what I'm saying? I'm a data scientist. I build apps. I'm an environmental scientist. Like, okay, why is that bad? It sounds corporate, it sounds professional, but there's no motion there. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm an engineer. I'm a lawyer. Okay, cool. Yay, you sound smart or whatever, but there's no motion there. You got to say something that makes me want to be like, okay, now what now? Okay, talk to me. Okay, talk to me more about this. Either how did you get into this? What work do you do? How do how do you do that? What do you mean? Like, you have to say something that makes people want to go somewhere with you. So shout out to Coach. He's never on any of these, but he's the reason why this group is still here, because I was going to shut it down in 2023, just so you know. So if you ever see him, give him a high five. And he took it to the furthest extreme, but I always used to say, if I ask you what you do, I think I have a video, I'm not sure, because he took it to the furthest extreme. And it's hilarious, to the point where I was just like, whoa, we took it too far. But if somebody asks you what you do, don't tell them what you do. Tell them why you do what you do. And the way to do that is this sentence, this clarity that I'm trying to get you guys to communicate. I help this kind of person to go from this problem state to this solution state, so they can, with whatever process, so they can do this and this and this instead of this and this and this. Can you do that? Can you find that level of clarity? Okay. Go ahead, Tracy.
Oh, damn. I thought I had it. Okay, so don't do that. I move bodies. Because I move bodies, I simultaneously move minds. Because emotion is created by motion. I hope you stop making your mind your enemy and then taking it out on your body.
Okay,
I know.
Tracy. No. Nope. I'm going with you. I'm right here with you. So look, here's your problem. You're an artist.
No.
You're a poet. You're an artist. You're right. So you're finding language that sounds cool. It sounds cool and artisty. What we have to do is get in the mind of the person we're talking to. How are they talking? So let me walk everybody through this, because you might watch this video 6 months from now. I don't know. Listen, the prompt is, I help blank kind of person. You don't say, I help corporate professionals who are I don't know, I can't even think of no technical language. You say about them, you label them the way they label themselves. So if they don't think of themselves as, I can't even think of a corporate example, but you have to say, when you say who you help, it should sound exactly like how they call themselves. Okay, so I help blank kind of person solve this kind of problem in their language by a very simple explanation of what you do, so they can get this desired outcome. So everything except what you do should sound like them. So I help single moms make enough money to take care of their kids without worrying, or whatever. Like, you see where I'm going with this. Language, what are they dealing with in their own head right now? I help single moms generate a second stream of revenue just by, getting on Instagram 3 hours a day. So they can have enough extra money to get their kids out of poverty instead of trying to go work 2 and 3 jobs. It sounds like them, not like you. When it sounds like you're on step 6, 7, 8 on the roadmap. We're not over there yet. Right now, it has to sound like them.
I help people that are trying to get their movements right, their metabolism right, and their mind right.
Okay, remember yesterday, I think you already told me yesterday. Yeah. What do they actually want? What did you tell me people want?
What do they want? They want so many things, doll.
Give me some of what they want.
They want to they want to be more at peace. They're stressed out. I tell people about the nervous system, like through their breath, how they can regulate that. I like to do breathing practices, so that's really helpful.
But nobody wakes up in the morning. This is for everybody.
They don't
wake up like, I need some breathing practices today. You know what I'm saying? What do they want? What do they want?
Well, when you think about the movie Waiting to Exhale, I like to make that pun. I teach women that they don't have to wait to exhale.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to be breathless in order to be breathtaking.
See, you're a poet. I love that. That's poetry.
I know. I've been saying that for over 20 years.
No, I'm here for it. And you would keep that. But also, what does that mean? Okay. So what do they really want? They want to be what? At peace with themselves? They want to what? They want to be centered? I don't know. What is it?
They want to be, they want to, I don't really, I don't know if they know.
Hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
Gather yourself. So we have confirmation and support in the dollhouse. Desta says, you're on fire emoji, Tracy. He said, keep going with that motion. You'll land it. You're going to land it. You're going to land it. He said, perhaps along the lines of, some say silence is the language of God. Well, movement is the body's language. And the goal is your fluency. Also a writer and a poet and an artist in the building.
Oh no. That's that ain't
that is
fly.
Hey,
he says a writer and a poet. That means
listen, I can't do this with all these artists and songwriters. Y'all, I've been trying to stop in 90 minutes. This is why I go so long. I can't even get into the notes for today. Desta, once again, Desta.
I'm gonna work on it. Yeah.
He said, go, Tracy.
I almost want to say I help people that stressed out. People that are stressed out, I help people that don't like to work out learn something, learn how to work out mindfully. I'm very good with form. Like, I'm someone that's very strict on proper form. And I always want to put that in there because there's this need to do something. But if you can only do it 1 or 2 times because you injure yourself, then what's the point? So I help people create a mind-body connection so that they can connect the dots between fitness and their mental health.
Okay, write that down. Let's start right there. Let's start right there.
Okay.
And so again, this is why the dollhouse exists.
Cooler though. That one.
No. See, you're doing too much. You're editing. We don't edit right now. We're not the part of editing. Mm-hmm. The more brilliant you are, you guys, the more difficult it is to get it out and translate it into capitalism.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Tracy, that was great towards the end, like you hearing you work through it. I think what helped me was, like Doll said, I talked to a frustrated website owner, a business owner. So I help nonprofits and business owners who are too busy or don't have time to worry about website updates and crashes and things like that. So I give them their time back by giving them reliable web support and guidance so they can focus on their actual mission rather than worrying about the website. So I feel like for you, you help people who are feeling disconnected is what it sounds like to me. Mm-hmm. Like maybe that's a word that you can work with or use.
Yeah, I heard disconnected. I heard stressed. I heard all of that. Exactly. So however they're feeling,
look sexy. That's what because my goal is to work with Black people. So I need people to know this is fun. It's more fun than they think.
Well, yeah, but
I
also
make mindfulness look sexy.
But also, like, I just booked a yoga class this evening, and it's because like, I love yoga and I've been wanting to get back into it, and my friend canceled on me because we've been doing bar classes. So I was like, you know what, let me book a yoga class since she's busy doing something else. And it was like it's a healing yoga hour tonight in the evening, and it sounds so peaceful, and so, like, I am so things are always pulling at my attention. Like, I am distracted and disjointed sometimes. So I know I need to go to yoga so I can have that time to decompress, relax, have my thoughts just flow, instead of me being like, oh, I have to do this, I gotta do this. You know, it gives me that time to connect with myself. So I think that word disconnect needs to be in there somewhere. That's just my opinion.
That's really good.
But I love what you're doing, but that's just my feedback.
That's really good. Like so disconnected, stressed, whatever, you know, we help them, people who are feeling like that, right? Using whatever your process, that's where you say the mindfulness and the this and that and the whatever, the breath work, so they can what? Whatever they actually want in life, right? That's all. That's it. That's literally it. How are they literally feeling right now? And we need to put some language around that. Okay. What do they really want? Let's put some language around that. And then everything you want to say, it goes in the middle. It's only 3 blanks. I help this kind of person, what's for? This kind of person, what do they call themselves? Solve this problem state, how they say it. So that at the end is so they can feel like this, how they want to feel. And then in the middle, that's where you put the mindfulness and the all of that. Okay. You can do it.
I can do it.
You've done it. I mean, we've literally done it. If I go back to all of our recordings, you've already done this.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The more brilliant you are, the more difficult this is, because you have like 1,000 brilliant ideas like a day. It's like, oh my God, I can, oh, you read an article, you're, oh my God, there's a but, and you're like, or an engineer, you're like, ooh, somebody should invent, and then but you're going on. Like now we've moved on to the other thing for the, 5 minutes later. The more brilliant you are, the more you need the dollhouse. Okay. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Thank you all, actually.
Absolutely. But yeah, Desta went in, he put some poetry in the thing, and then Micaiah just came back. She doubled down, she tripled down. She gave you a real-time, assessment of how people are feeling. So I think you need to just sink into that. And don't
how about the sexy, like I help people that
don't want to. I promise you nobody's thinking that. I can already, it don't matter what you about to say. Yeah. Nobody's thinking No one's thinking that.
Yoga to
be because every time
to have fun.
I say to someone like take a yoga class, or sometimes I'm like, oh, they're like, no, I want to go work out. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, it is a workout. I don't know. So just
like, no, that's your content. This is your content strategy. Mm-hmm. Because people don't know that, okay, yoga, like, how does that connect to working out? Like, people don't have that in their mind. So you have to introduce them to that. So I think I'll be able to get to that today. Like, there's layers to how we show up for people. One is just like the very brief, thing we're trying to nail, which is the clarity. But everything else we build after that, it's going to build on that. So you'll be able to do a whole set of content on why yoga needs to be a part of your workout, or why like stretching or Pilates, I'm going to the gym, but also you need yoga. Like why, you have to get into
Tracy.
That. Go ahead.
I'm willing to be one of your people that you talk to if you want some feedback.
Yeah,
I can do that. Yeah, let's set up a time. You have is your number in the? Just drop your email or your phone number. Drop your phone number. Come
on, dollhouse. This is what we sing the Jeopardy song. If If we were in class, we would literally pause the class and say, I'll exchange information. Okay. So yes, talk to humans who are in that energy and figure out the language that they're saying. And that's what you want to say. There's nothing else to say. This is not the time for your brilliance or your artistry. No. This is the time to repeat back to people what they have said to you. Okay. So we're there. I know we're there. Like when I say, Tracy, you already are 100 million gazillionaire. Like the freaking podcast you sent me. I'm like, this man, I'm not going to call him a scam. I'm not going to say that. The internet said he was a scam. I didn't say it. And they don't know what I'm talking about, so I can say that. You, ma'am, have real value for real people who would not follow said man, but they would follow you. And they need this presence and this power and going within more than ever. Like the things that I'm teaching, everybody that I'm teaching needs you. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't have clarity, and I just talked to somebody else in the dollhouse about that this morning. If they're not clear, if they don't feel like, I'm not sure what they offer, they're not calling you. It's not that they don't know you. It's like, oh, she cool, but I don't want to like just hang out and just like spend 30 minutes, an hour, drive across town to come to Griffin and come to your class. And then it's like, I'm not sure what I'm going to get when I get there. Like, ain't nobody got time. That's my favorite line. Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time.
Look at your neighbor and say, ain't nobody. We don't have time.
That's what I say every time before I get on my live. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to organize this.
Clarity.
Ain't got nobody got. Just turn on
clarity.
Press play.
It's the clarity and the action. It's clarity and we take action. We figure it out later, but you don't have time to sit there and be deep and stuff. Like you could be deep after I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Oprah could come. I mean, everybody's canceled. I can't use no celebrity examples, but insert your favorite celebrity here. They can come and be deep and you will sit there for 7 hours and just, yes. Okay. Yes. I don't know what they're talking about, but yes, because because you've already bought into who they are, or like your favorite person in the world. You know what I'm saying? You could just like get on a train, just like ride through. There's a train ride, Tracy. If it wasn't the end of the world, I would literally call you to do this. There's a train ride. You start in Miami and you go like up to, I don't know, DC or something. My dad used to be obsessed with trains. And I think it's DC or a little further. And then you go west, and you just like, and you end up in Montana, and you're like all in the mountains, like North Dakota, whatever, I don't know. And you come all the way down the edge of, the edge, like California, like down in the mountains, and you keep going. If you keep going, you got to get another train. You'll be in San Diego. Like they say it's the most beautiful train ride in all of America. Of course, Europe has better trains just because it's gorgeous. It's freaking gorgeous. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody's not ready. Like, I just met you now. Like, I'm not necessarily ready to do all of that with you, right? But if you can give me, we need that instant, like, oh, wow, I know what she does, and that's cool. So then when I talk to somebody else and they're talking about yoga or mindfulness or wellness or whatever it is that you said in that little short part, they remember, I just met somebody who does that or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm just talking about that entry point, that point of clarity that we build all the rest of this on. So anyway, it's a journey. It's not easy. This is not easy. This is upper level work that we're doing, you guys. And the fact that we keep showing up and everybody in the dollhouse is like, yeah, oh no, I feel you. Yeah, no, try this, do this. I'm telling you, it's a journey. But once we get there, there's no question. Everybody should be very clear on what you do and why it matters that you do what you do. So I'm excited. So match all your brilliance, all your artistry, and all of your lofty things with what people do and say every day.
Got it.
Okay. Shout out to Patrice. She said I sound like her. Shout out to Patrice and folks who are streaming on the streaming thing. Okay. So we need to be crystal clear about what we do and be able to quickly explain it in a way that makes people say, yeah, I need that, or I need more about that, or they want to have a conversation about that, or, somebody in my family, or whatever. But if they don't understand what you are talking about, nothing happens after that. Okay. All right, so we got to crystallize. I'm already at 2:52. I got to be done by 3:30. Here we go. We need clarity. Your worldview, that's your lens through which you see the problem that you solve. So everything that you were saying, Tracy, about like, oh, I believe that, movement and it's this and the power of these things, that's your worldview. Okay. And I like the clarity that you have around that. But we also got to get clear about our target with us. If they knew what I knew, if they could see the world the way you see the world, they would be vibing with you. We got to be very clear about who that is. But then we got to have clarity around the problem language, the exact words that they use to describe. These are coordinates. These are locations. This is where I live right now. This is how I see the world right now. This is my struggle right now, my pain right now. What language are they using to describe that? So again, if we don't have this, we can't move forward. So let me be clear today, and people can go back and watch the video. Your worldview is the unique way you see the problem that other people don't. It's the angle, the perspective, the thing that makes your solution different from everybody else's. Okay. So most coaches are out here talking about, you need a better strategy, you need a framework, you need tactics, you need systems, whatever. They're trying to teach you something about a business plan or some kind of, whatever. My worldview is none of these things are going to work for you. I don't care what you do, unless you realign your identity, how you're showing up in the world. You're still coming with an employee and a consumer mindset in an entrepreneur's body. Okay. No amount of tactics is going to fix that. Okay, what you do? We got to reprogram. We got to reset your whole nervous system and shift your identity first. Then I can teach you a couple frameworks and then you'll be fine. Okay. So I'm not like them. They're not. Okay. Right? There's a distinction. My worldview is very clear and distinct. So most people are selling tactics. In my example, I'm selling transformation. It's my worldview. Can you define your worldview? What does everyone else in your industry believe is the problem? What are they all doing? So Asia, shout out to Asia, Desta, Micaiah, Tracy. I said I was going to shout out everybody else who's on the Zoom. I know that there are a lot of plant-based people out here talking about, they vegan or whatever. But they're using, I don't know what products it don't matter to them what they're using. Long as they can say it ain't got no animal thing in it, they're going to use it. So what do they believe? Everybody else in your industry, what do they believe is the problem? How else are they showing up? But what do you believe is the real problem underneath that? So what are the other web designers, web people, design agencies? What are other people? I don't know what they do out here. I don't know. What do they believe versus what do you believe is the real problem underneath that nobody's addressing? What's the one thing that everyone else is missing that you see clearly? So Tracy, since you live, you in the hot seat, we got about 34 minutes. So what can you answer that? We got to get you some clarity. What does everybody else in your industry believe is the problem? Let me see if she can come off mute. I'm gonna give you my example. My example. Everybody says they bring you in a program or whatever, and then they say, oh, you need a better business plan. You need to write a business plan. That's the first thing they tell you to do in all these entrepreneurship programs. And I'm like, what you write now? What business plan? What are we talking about? I start you with the 5-star pitch because that is a location. When I ask you what you do and can you express it, the struggles that you have with the 5-star pitch show me where we need to work on it. And usually it's an internal thing, it's an identity shift. It's you need some clarity around how you want to show up in the world. because no amount of planning, no business model canvas, no set of projections, none of that is going to fix anything if you're operating from the wrong frequency. Why do we have to do this kind of work? I'm telling you that the W's don't have to do all of this. I'm telling you that I have right now, today, I can send y'all a template spreadsheet thing where you could do your financial projections for the next 5 years. And, you know, if you had a tech startup, especially, and just plug in some numbers and it will go, and then, you know, I got it from, you know, Georgia Tech people. I got some templates and some tools from Harvard, you know, all of that. Because they can do that. They could just be like, oh, I think I want to do da da da. And then they call their cousin or their Uncle Bob. And he's like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Let me introduce you to somebody, so and so. And then, you know, then they got a little 50,000, 20,000, some money. And they're like, well, work with this person. And then they'll go and they'll do something to it, and it pop out, and they'll put it. And then, by the way, I'll get you a meeting with this person. So they got their first 3 meetings off the network alone. They had a couple of people give them some advice, and then they go in there and they nail one of the deals, and then that's how they build. We don't have that. We don't have Uncle Bob. We don't have 30,000, 50,000, just run some ads and just try to figure it out. We don't have somebody to put our stuff together and make it ready for the world. We have to do that. Okay? So if we're the ones that have to do that, it requires us to shift our identity. And, you know, another example, people say, oh, you need more followers. You just need a bigger presence. Tracy, can you come on mute? Off of mute? I'm serious about this. I'm not playing right now. Somebody finna get free on today.
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Another example, people might say, everybody else says you need more followers. But if you were a social media, whatever, coach or something, or if I was teaching social media, which I would never do, I would be like, you don't need more followers. You need more clarity. Followers come when you know exactly who you're talking to and what problem you solve, right? So let's figure out your worldview, Tracy, because that's going to help you. So what does everybody else believe in your industry? They say that's the problem.
What they believe in my industry in yoga, that people are not present.
What does that mean?
That they're not, their mind is somewhere else. They don't have a balanced state of mind.
Okay, so we're not clear on what.
I guess I should start with me, because I started doing yoga because it was mind-boggling how something that was so basic was messing with my mind. Like, I was sitting here like, why am I so mindful just doing a warrior? And I couldn't understand how still it was making me. And then eventually I realized, oh, this is what yoga is for. I didn't know that. I knew I liked it because it was flowing. It was like, okay, but at the same time, I couldn't think of other stuff. Like, if I'm doing jumping jacks, I can make a to-do list while I'm doing jumping jacks or even other stuff. But with yoga, I was always very centered, and it disturbed me until I realized this is the purpose of yoga. And then it intrigued me, because then I was like, I have to master this. I have to be okay. And then the things that I thought were, when I thought something was hard, like in yoga, they say the moment you want to get out of a pose, that's when the pose begins. And I realized things that I think are hard, it's that my mind doesn't want to stay still. So this aspect of my mind constantly shifting me, I don't know, for me, it meant something to me. And that's what I want to share.
We just found it. So we have to bag, as they say in Southwest Atlanta. Because I'm actually on step 3 on the roadmap. I'm talking about the problem and how you host the conversation around the problem. We need to define, that's I'm about to call on you. We need to define, and you have multiple. So the more people, more sub-segments of people that you can serve, the more, nuanced you have to be, okay? But who are the people that need this solution that you're providing? So give me one persona.
Somebody that is dealing with emotional trauma, stress, like the Black woman, like that is ignored and is expected just to kind of move through things and self-care, like even me, like people don't necessarily want to take yoga sometimes from a Black person because we're like, what are you going to do? It's going to be a boot camp. And I'm not going to lie, my classes are challenging, but I love the softer part of yoga. The reason I do the harder part is because it gets you out of your mind, so that you can be still.
So somebody that's dealing with trauma or trying to come out of it or overcoming it or whatever, what do other people tell them they need to do? What do they tell them is the problem that they need to overcome?
Girl, you just need to breathe. You need to, maybe you're stressed, you're tight. Like some people feel like, a lot of people are into assisted stretching. When you said that yesterday, what is something I could go out and do and make? And assisted stretching I could do even like yesterday. I was sick. I only slept for an hour and a half. Someone needed me to stretch them. I went over their house, came home here at 2 a.m. And the sister was so happy. She was laughing and giggling because she was holding a lot of stress and she could not let that go. So it's like, I did that and I woke up again at 4 o'clock to go to the gym. So that was something I could do even with no energy, even though I was really sick. And now I'm actually feeling better.
So they're telling people what? Just breathe and what? I don't know.
They're telling people when it comes to stretching, the people are using the words emotional release. This is something I hear a lot. And the more I take stretching out of the gym, because of course in the gym, people cannot be hollering and laughing and making noise, and certain things I do, it looks very provocative. So it couldn't happen in the gym format. So when I do it outside of the gym, I see the potential of it because they can do anything they need to do. There's no restraints on it. So, yeah, it's an emotional release. They need to be more mindful. People are like, "Oh, girl," when they hear yoga, "Oh yeah, I need yoga. I am stressed."
So follow me
they
here.
Don't think of it as a workout.
Lock in, because listen, listen, y'all. The more brilliant you are, the harder this process is. The more of an artist, a creative athlete, super duper in an alternate life you are, the harder this process is. So I need you to keep your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground. Let's back up. Who are we serving? People who what?
People that are stressed, people that yes.
What does everybody else tell them they need to do?
I imagine they need to do yoga. People come to me sometimes for breathing, but I don't even know if they know what that means, because when I teach them different breathing patterns, they like, okay, they don't
nobody knows
breathe.
what it means. So no. So okay. Where else would they? Okay, I'm taking baby steps. Who are the people? We just found them. They're stressed. So they're stressed because work, entrepreneurs, corporate people, people with families, and you have all these sub segments. So the more people that you serve, the bigger your vision is, the more skillful you have to be in what I'm trying to teach.
There are people that have tried other things. This is why.
So what have they tried? Boom. What have they tried?
They tried working out, maybe dating, losing weight, other workouts, and it's like it's not enough. It's not fulfilling, or the end goal didn't get them what they thought they were going to get.
What's the end goal that they're looking for? What's the end goal?
If it was a great body and to be happy, they probably didn't get that. They probably realized there was more problems than they thought.
Okay.
Like the body could fix.
Okay, so everybody else is giving them what? They're giving them workouts. They're giving them what? They're
giving them workouts. They're giving them things that make them look good, but inside they're still dealing with a lot of trauma.
What do you believe? What do you believe is the real problem underneath that they're not addressing?
The mind-body connection and understanding that their nervous system is affected by their mind and their body is a reflection of it. Like when people say that they tight, they think, okay, I just worked out, or I just did a hard strength workout. No, you tight literally. Like literally there's something going on in you that is making you tight. And I help people to start to connect with the sensations of their body. Like, okay, when you're doing this, it's basically body language, but it's being very understanding what your body language is telling you about your emotional states. But that's almost a different level of it. But that's always the goal. I'm like, how do you feel? What is this doing? Telling people to be comfortable, making people know it doesn't have to hurt to work out. There's a thing about
I love
yes,
it. I love it.
So yes.
So we need a video just on that. So I've put it in the notes for everybody streaming and everybody on the Zoom. We've got to be so clear. Again, if I bust in your house and I wake you up at 4 a.m., it's me. It's just all. It's fine. Everything's fine. Hey, what do you do? Who do you serve? What do we do? You know, this is what I need to flow out of you. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna pause. Patrice, if you still on YouTube or wherever you are, child, and she said, I'm tech challenged. I'm trying to talk to you. Put your notes in the thing and I will respond. Okay. But okay, we got to be really, really clear on our worldview. That's number one. We can't be just like rambling. It has to be very clear. And I went through that yesterday with you guys. Okay. And I just gave you 2 examples.
I also, crazy is the new normal. Like we've normalized being on medication and doing all these things that are outside of us. And like now, if people are waiting to hear, oh, it's in your DNA. And I like the Netflix thing. It's like, no, it's not in your DNA. It's in your dinner, but it's in your nervous system. It's in your mindset. Like literally you can change the way things are happening just by the way you breathe, just by the way you interact and slow down with it. So I think people are just keep looking for an answer outside, which is great if you find it. But then when you hit that place where you realize, oh shit, the problem's still there, and I've already pinpointed the problem, but it's still there.
To go with
it's me.
Exactly. So you need a whole body of work. I need articles. I need videos. I need, posts. I need little log types of things on all the interwebs about what you just said. You know what I'm saying? These are the breadcrumbs. And that's what brings people back into your world. And then you have a little free gift, and then you have an email list, and then you have, a $37 thing, and then you have $200 thing, and you got, you want to book me for 2 hours, come do this and that, and then you have your signature offer. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that times, depending on your price point, times 200 or times 50 or times, 500 or whatever, you're on the island. All because of that kernel of clarity. Okay. So we need clarity on our worldview. Number 2, we need clarity on our target audience. If I hear one more time, y'all, as of today, the people who need to hear this are not on here. Don't ever say to me ever again, this is for everybody. Everybody needs this. Because listen, I made my money in water. Let me let you know something. As a human being, you can go however many days, 40 days or something they say, without eating food. But 3 days, I will ask you, I will say, okay, today's February 4th. Were you here February 1st? Yes. Then I know that you drank some water within the last 3 days. This is literally for everybody. And yet we could not enter the marketplace like, well, it's water. Like anybody needs it. Stop it. No. Your target audience, you gotta focus. If you're talking to one person, the specific type of person who shares your worldview and is ready to invest, to move assets, to move some capital, to move resources, to like shift something, to take an action. There's motion. Money follows motion. Okay, it's not enough. I will not say the word that starts with K. Y'all know what I want to say. It's not enough. I will not say his name. To say, oh, I have this thing and everybody needs it and da da da. And then people are like, yeah, well, that sounds cool. Da, da, da. It has to be so clear that they now want to take an action because they believe that there's an outcome on the other side. Okay. So when you're broad, you're like, I help people grow their business. I help people ... Fill in your broad, vague thing that you probably are saying right now. The specific version of that would be, I don't even know if this is a good example. I'm trying to come up with one. I help impact-driven former corporate professionals who are brilliant, but they're stuck in analysis paralysis because they're still operating with an employee mindset. That seems more specific. I
don't even know what that means, doll.
I don't know. I just made that up. You know what I'm saying? Or let me give you another example. It's not me. It's not me. I help people lose weight. That's too broad. It's too vague. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that sounds cute. Okay, that's cute.
Well, tell me if this one is too rude.
Go.
I help women that have been called angry Black women. But they're really misunderstood. I help angry Black woman that's really not angry. She's misunderstood because she needs mindfulness. I don't know how specific I can be.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do.
Because my goal is to work with Black women.
That's cool. And then the more specific you want to be, that's fine. You don't have to, but the more that's
people tell me that I should be working with white folks. They're like, yeah,
because they pay and they got money and they already know what yoga is. Okay, listen. What I'm telling you. This is my problem. It's not
professional level. You should be working with white folks.
The seeking, the searching, and the journey. I'm not mad at that. Here's my problem. You're finding it, and then you say, I don't know. That's for everybody on this phone. Are you on my YouTube? Are you on the interwebs? Are you picking up are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? Come on, Chris Tucker. You are finding it. And then you turn around and say, I don't know. I'm not sure. So this is the equivalent of us. We're scrolling, y'all. We're on our phone, we're reading something, somebody sent us an email or a text or a little text or something, stay off YouTube. Stay off TikTok or whatever. But you watch something and it's like, okay, oh, that could be a thing. That could be something for me. I'm not sure. I don't know how to do it. And you just put it in that place that never gets visited again. It just disappears into the ether of what she said she didn't know. So that I don't know. So your brain, your human technology no longer is trying to pull and make it into a thing. So what we have to do is stop censoring ourselves, stop editing ourselves, stop that. Let it come out and let's figure it out. I am here to give you some guardrails and some direction, right? So if it's like the questions I'm asking you. Go ahead.
Okay, let's try this one. I help women that are not ready to admit that they're crazy, yet they can agree that what they're doing is currently not working through mindfulness and yoga.
Okay, so they can what?
So that they can get a better body and mind.
Whatever it is that
People
they say.
want a good
No,
body.
we're so close. So whatever it is that they say they really want, that's what you say at the end of that sentence. And then we're kind of there. Honestly. Because I think there's a subsegment of women who literally have a discussion like, I'm not crazy, but I know they think I'm crazy. I am crazy, but I'm not crazy. Like that's the thing.
What I'm doing is not working. I'll admit that. I'm not crazy, but what I'm doing is definitely not working.
I like that. So I help those women who I'm not crazy, but what I'm doing is not working. You help them do what?
I help them get their mind and their body right.
So that they can what? What is the outcome? What is it? They want to live their best life, like say their language,
yes, so that they can live their best life unapologetically.
Write that down. Like, let's start right there. You know what I'm saying? Now we got something to go out into the marketplace and do some reps with. You know what I'm saying? Now we can go talk to humans and see if they're vibing, if they're picking up what you're putting down. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all know that they have combined Uno and Jenga into one game? Mm-hmm. And that is insane. That's insane. If you are like me, if your family is like me, the board game nights, the spades, the games that were played, they put Uno and Jenga into a single game. So you have all the rules of Jenga combined, overlaid with the rules of Uno. It's a problem. If the next time we get together at the dollhouse, we're gonna play this game. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
That must have been what my daughter was talking about at game night with her boyfriend Quincy a couple of weeks ago. She was like, yeah, it was a new type of Uno. They had to give us directions that we kept looking at, like, what is
it's
this?
like, wait a minute, what? We're doing what? What is happening?
I love Uno. And Jenga's good too if you ain't got shaky
because I don't even believe in Jenga, but like they combined it and now it's a problem. Wow. It's a whole problem out here in the streets. Also, did you know you can go to Vegas? I mean, Vegas is apparently canceled as well. Apparently they crashed the Vegas economy or something. And it's over with or whatever. But you can actually go to Vegas and like I have my fiance. He's like, he never loses at Uno. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what ritual. I don't know what happened. And you can now go to Vegas and like instead of playing blackjack, you play Uno and like win money. I'm babe, babe, where are we going? What are we doing? Hey, let's go get. It's free money. It's free.
That's craziness.
Anyway, the point being, if you can, what you just did right there is like, okay, everybody listen, the same way we get excited, like it's like we finna play Tonk or we finna play Pinochle or spades or whatever. It's like all the energy from all the times you ever played that game, you're like, boom, immediately you're there. You're like, bye-bye. It's an energetic coordinate. It's a location. And when you can show up and you speak to people where they are. So let me just, for practice, let me see if you can do it again. Who do you help?
I help people that know they're not crazy, but I help people that know they're not crazy. They know that what they're doing is not working. I don't want to call them crazy. I help people that I help people that know they're not crazy, yet they know what they're doing is not working. To use, what was the other part? The other question?
Skip that. So they can what?
So that they can get their mind, body right.
Okay, you said something else. We're going to take this recording. We're going to find it. But yes, what I'm telling you is when you nail that, the more specific you are and the more clear that is and the more easily it flows out of you, the more people will be like, oh my gosh, she's talking to me, which is what we want, okay? Because money follows motion. So thank y'all for being here through this. This became a workshop on today. Okay, so number one, we're defining our worldview, okay? The way you find your worldview. What does everyone else in your industry believe is the problem? What do you believe is the problem underneath that? And what's the one thing that everybody else is missing that you see so clearly? Define your worldview. Okay. Number two, who is your target audience? It's not everybody. It's a specific type of person who shares your worldview and is ready to invest in solving this problem, right? So the more specific you are, the more money you're gonna make, honestly, and more people will be like, oh, that's me, that's for me. So here are the questions. Who is this person or the person that I was 5 or 10 years ago on this journey, right? If you solve this problem for yourself or before you figured out whatever it is that you do to solve this problem, what were they struggling with back in the day that nobody else is solving? Nobody else understood. What identity did they have back then that's holding them back? Employee mindset, victim mindset, scarcity mindset. People worried about, oh, the food not gonna taste good. People worried about, oh yeah, that's cool, but child, I need a check, I need a salary, I need to know, I need a logo, I need to be working for a company that's recognized, whatever that is. And you're trying to help them leave that and come over here. Or like, it's gonna take us tens of thousands of dollars. It's so expensive to do websites and to do this and do that. And so then they just get paralyzed. They're just frozen because they have an old identity that's holding them back. So can you define that? Define your target audience. Who were they? Like, where were they on the journey? If you've been on a journey, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, 2-3 steps before where you are now, what are they struggling with that nobody else understood? What identity do they still hold that's holding them back? What worldview do they have to shift to try to solve this problem? Okay, so the example I'm trying to give you, we're getting off at 3:30. The example I'm trying to give you is like for my target audience as I'm working through this, right? These are people who want to change the world. They want to change your family tree. They want to do all the things. Some of y'all, most of y'all have been in corporate, super smart, super, super smart. That's the main thing. Y'all black, young, black, and gifted. That's basically my people, but not like college age, like a little bit past that. We outside. Y'all might have had a corporate career, whatever. Brilliant ideas, big dreams, all the things. Okay. So professional, just polished, just all the way outside. But our bank account from this work, when we stepped out on our own, it's not matching our brilliance. Okay. And often that's because we're stuck in analysis paralysis. We're still overthinking everything. We're still like, I know I need to, but you worried about what people are going to say about you. You look a little bit, just a tiny bit crazy. You don't want to get on LinkedIn like that because it's like, what are they going to think? Like, Like, there's some of that going on. Okay. So the identity holding you back is like, it's still as if I just told the story about the woman on LinkedIn who's a student of my new coach, who's coaches people on LinkedIn, who she said she turned down, or she worked for all these different companies, a couple startups, a couple people in Silicon Valley, whatever. And she ended up leaving. But her role throughout those companies was social media manager. So she already had a network. So don't get me wrong. But she decided to go on her own. The first year she went on her own full time, she made $250,000 a year just through her LinkedIn connections. And she said the biggest challenge for her was being concerned about, because she has like purple hair and she has like a cannabis nose ring and like whatever. I don't know, child. And like they thought I was radical in the I need to do a whole short documentary on my hair journey, okay? Because y'all, my hair used to be down here and I cut all the color off, so it's growing back. But anyway, I was on TV, not TV, but it felt like TV, like during the Zoom, during the pandemic, and people, I'm not gonna call no names, one of my investors, and they were like, oh, so they did this game, they try to figure out all these ways so we can connect virtually because y'all can't fly out to Silicon Valley or whatever. And then they were like, it's like two truths and a lie. And I'm like, why is this a thing? And so one of the things I said was, there was a white lady on the thing and her hair is like down to here. And I was like, yeah, so my hair, it was a little bit longer than this, but not a whole lot because it's curls, but the shrinkage is real. And I was like, yeah, my hair, that was my truth. My hair is as long as this lady's hair on the thing. And everybody's like, oh, that's a lie. Da, da, da. So then I pull down the hair, and it goes down. And it does more than you think it can do. Like it's doing a lot. It's doing things that you don't know it can do. And then they're like, oh, And the point being, you have so much inside of you that it's not being revealed. Like, people don't know what they don't know until you show them what they don't know. People don't know what you have access to, the things that you can tap into, the places you can take them until you show them. So the more clarity you can provide, the more you can show up and like speak something that it's like a no-brainer. So they take a step. Like it shouldn't be like a lot of energy. It's about energy. I don't have energy to spend on like trying to figure out, is this safe? Are you cool? Is this good? Should I do this? Should I spend this time and money over here versus over there? Like you got to eliminate all of that. That's static. Okay. We got signal and we got noise. I have 4 minutes. So in this 4 minutes, I'm going to give you this story. Number one, I need y'all to have super duper, not playing with you in these streets, clarity on your world view. If you need help with that, send me a DM. If you don't have my DM, that means you're not in the WhatsApp. So look around, find somebody, get in the WhatsApp group, do something, and do some things. Okay. Clarity on your worldview. Then I need you to have clarity on your target audience. Who are we serving? And I'm going to call you up to the stage, Desta, if you can hear me. Third thing I need you to have is clarity on your problem language. How do they describe what they're dealing with, what they're experiencing, what they're going through? Okay. The exact words your target audience is using to describe their pain. Not your words, not your corporate language, not your interpretation, not your art piece. It's their words, the exact phrases that they say when they're stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed. When you do that, they'll feel seen. And after that, everything else is gravy after that. So here's the thing. Since I only have 3 minutes left, this is what I want to do. I'll tell you this story and I'm going to call Desta to the stage. Okay. Steve Jobs, apparently, I don't, W's. What are we going to do? I've been to Apple Park. Like, I've met some people that worked very closely with him. I don't know. But this is what I do know. They say he was, they called him a jerk or whatever because he was very focused. This is what I learned from Steve Jobs. Signal and noise. There are inputs, there are things in your life, like information inputs, insight, activities that you need to be doing, things that are coming across your phone, things that you could pay attention to throughout the day that are a signal. This is like, I'm going, like GPS, it works off a signal, right? So if your phone gets offline, like you're in trouble. But as long as you have a signal, the GPS is like ping, ping, ping. And it's like, go this way, turn this way, do this. So he would identify 3 to 4 things every week, but let's say every day. I need to do these things to get me where I'm trying to go. I said I was going over here. In order to get there, these are the things that I meditated. I'm doing 369. I'm doing a thing. These are the things that are important for me to get where I'm trying to go. Okay, bet that. So I don't care what else is going on. I don't care who came in the door. I don't care what the family's doing. These 3 things need to happen. And he, according to the people around him, to the point where they thought he was rude. I'm not going to say he was a jerk. They said he got to a point where they felt like he was being rude because he was like, this don't align with, listen, all I know is I got to do this, this, and this, and this. Everything else you talk about, what we talking about? What we talking about? Y'all, I wish I got to get when they finish my background, because I got props and I can't see my props. If it don't align with this right here, what I got to do right here is noise. I need you to get your life to where 80% of your time is spent on things that actually matter. Figuring out who is your target audience, what is your worldview, what is their problem language, how could I show up and be a gift to the world in this way? Because I'm about to give y'all the whole, there's no need for me to give you the entire Substack plan. I'm about to get the YouTube one. Their prices are high, but I'm gonna pay the price because I think this might change all of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like how to show up for real. But if you don't have the commitment, 80% signal and only 20% noise. 20% is, oh yeah, mom, oh cow, kids, oh woo, yeah, woo. 80% needs to be something that's gonna move you forward. So 3 things that you need to get done, let's say in a week, forget a day, a week. I must complete this task by the end of this week. You need to go crazy to make sure that those 3 or 4 things get accomplished every week. So Desta, can you tell us? Because I know the last time you spoke, you said you weren't sure who your target audience is. How have you come? What have you come to since then?
My target audience is startup founders that are seeking scalability. So that's either startup founders seeking to get their seed funding or the Series A funding, or they are maybe at Series A and they're trying to scale to the next level. These are founders that are going to have to make some choices. They can't, their funds aren't unlimited, and they can't just hire all of the executive firepower that they need. So they're going to have to prioritize and think about what their most important next step is. And that's where I come in.
Say that last part again. Say it one more time.
They have to figure out what their most important next step is, and to prioritize those things down to a really granular level.
So that's where you come in. What do you do when you come in?
So when I come in, I assess what things I can take off of their plate, and assign a time period, and what type of executive leadership can spearhead that activity in that time frame. So if they need to get their financials taken care of, then I got a CFO for you for the period that we define, and I tell you what the outcome looks like at the end of that period, and then a light view on what your next steps would be, assuming our success at that interval.
I love that.
If it's a operational thing, I've got a COO for you. Then we look at taking you from where you are now, doing the audit of where you are now to where you need to be, and what things need to happen to get there. If it's just general evangelism of your company, while you're also trying to run your company and get funding and all of those things that new founders are doing, I take that piece off of your hands, and I talk about you so that people think that you matter, so that you can run your business.
Do you have that written down?
In longer form, yeah.
Because those three things are yes, amen, and yes and amen to that. Now, how many startup founders who are between, because your sweet spot, I'm gonna tell you right now, is between, I mean, some people have family and friends, but not for real. Who are between a seed and a series A, have you talked to, or do you have access to?
I have access currently to about 5 of those.
Okay. How many have you interviewed?
2.
I want you to interview all of them, and I need you to come up. I need you to find a way to get to 50 of them. I actually want to get you so crystal clear, so I can introduce you to some people who can introduce you to hundreds of them.
Okay.
So that you can, but by the time you do 5, 10, 15 of these conversations, 20, 30, 30 is our magic number. You're going to know exactly what they feel, what they think, what they're going through, what they're struggling with, because you just defined 3 very clear steps. So can you say it again? What are the 3 stages? Do you know that you just said 3 stages?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
so
could probably say it again. Probably not exactly how I just
exactly.
said it, yeah.
So we want to crystallize it.
I think about it. I think this is kind of proof positive of what you're talking about, where we've got our 5-star pitch written down, and we are studying it daily, so that it's that in itself is kind of like a conversation, but there's nothing that's a substitute for the conversation, because then it'll get you the missing piece
and
that
you
you're talking about,
embody
which
it.
is
I'm going to literally
what
pull.
What are they saying? Yeah, what are they saying back to me? That's what I need to know more.
I'm going to literally pull this video and do some homework. It's going to be like an hour and a half. I'm going to spend an hour and a half on Desta and send you back what you said, because it's powerful. It can turn into a framework. You said, if you're dealing with this, I'm going to take you through this process. If you got this going on, I got a COO for you, fractional, to do this and this. And if you, need an evangelist, I got you, Like, this is what we need. And as a person who I've decided not to go past the Series C, 1.7 million is in this part of the country is not a seed. They're like, girl, that's a Series A. That's whatever. I'm not doing no Series A, B, and C. I'm not doing 50 million. I'm not doing that because I don't have to. We're going to generate that revenue, and that's going to be what it is. But when you talk to people who have just raised the seed, they got enough money to pay you, right? But they don't know what to do. Now I done raised money. Now what? Now what? And I actually did know you when I raised this money. If you had been doing this when I raised this money, I would not have hired the person that almost crashed my company, and we would have been outside already. Like,
exactly.
So the more people that you talk to, like, you're gonna get all these signals and feedback in the language that they use. You know what I'm saying? But my point was, you have already identified your target audience, but a week ago or so, you were like, I gotta clarify who my target audience is. So that part, I know you can repeat. Who's your target audience?
Yeah, the startup founders they're in varying levels of their needs. So either seed going to Series A or Series A going beyond, looking to scale.
Amazing. So I got homework for you. I owe you. Tracy, Asia, Makaya, who's your target audience? We need clarity.
My target audience are Black women that are tired of being called angry Black women, and they're ready to break through with mindfulness practices.
Beautiful. I would add to that, whether you're in corporate, whether you're you get, you're trying to find a relationship, love of your life, Like, in other words, your skill set, part of your skill set is to be able to find people where they are, to like describe their thing and make them say, oh, that's me. Oh, yes, you're talking to me. It's like that. So just keep expounding on that. But I love that.
A very quick question, quickly.
Go.
How does somebody with a target audience, how do those people with target audiences, and I've seen it happen, still not manage to reach the masses? I see people that say, I work with this people, and then everybody else still wants to work with them.
Because the energy,
do that?
The energy cannot be denied, girl. Listen. If my friends, if all my friends who tried to put me on, if I would just be like, yeah, go ahead, just do it. If I would have straightened my hair, if I would have do the thing, if I would have go, get the lashes and do, it's just, it don't take much. It's just, and just go and just be outside. It would be a whole, like, everybody be like, who is Don Avant? Like, there would be billboards. Like, there's already a plan. It's already planned. My investors asked me not to do this. That's the reason why I'm not doing it right now. But it's going to happen in about 3 months in my own terms. Like, if I were, it's like walk-in weave. If y'all from Atlanta, the walk-in weave lady ain't got nothing on me. If I were to take 1% of the opportunities that were offered to me and just go, we'll be outside. Like, the industry, the machine, the media, the way that we perceive the world is not real. The way that we used to perceive the world was based on community and based on energy and based on Ubuntu and based on, integrity and based on I am because you are, and somebody that I trust with my life. Like, I will lay my life down for this person. And they said that you're good, therefore you're good. You know what I'm saying? You just came off a boat, but this person said that you're good. We don't have that anymore. It's just like, oh, we're scrolling. So I am here to try to give you guys some tools to bridge that gap between humanity and capitalism, because it's not real. So we can find a way to show up as our authentic, the greatest, highest version of ourselves, but still have traction in the place where they count the money, the metrics over there. So yeah, stick with me, and you I feel like Scar. You never
going Scar a damn place. I'm gonna be right here.
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Shout out to Kendrick with all these Grammys out here. Does that mean anything? Does anybody want to debate me on some hip hop? Because he's the most Grammy Award posted hip hop artist of all time, and he just passed Jay-Z and Kanye and them. It don't mean nothing to you, but it means something to me. Only because my family's from Compton. Like, I'm not just saying this. I'm not a fan. I'm not like a fangirl. I'm literally, listen. We were here from the beginning. We started from the bottom, and then we defeated Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot to say. I need to do a whole YouTube channel just on why I stand for Kendrick. But anyway, I want to see if Asia or Micaiah wants to speak before we get off the phone. I want to talk about, are you clear on your worldview and who's your target audience and what problem you solve? How clear do you feel on that? Because it's really important.
I feel confident about the people that I serve because I focus on nonprofits and business owners specifically who are busy and don't have time for, to do website updates or worry about their website at all. They just want it to do what it needs to do, give the specials, give, the promo codes, all the things, have the scheduler work. They don't want to have to worry about, things not working and it affects their bottom line. So yes, everybody should have some reliable web support.
Yes. Do they care? Like, do they get emotional about this problem? Like, what happens if they don't solve this?
They get very frustrated. I was actually just talking to a client that I just had her sign a website contract with me because she was very frustrated.
Wait, come on, client.
With her website. Yes. She signed the agreement and I made the list and tasks that she needs me to do and everything today. So she was beyond frustrated. She kept saying that she was getting ghosted by her developer that built the website for her.
Can't find nobody.
And yeah, I mean, he was there, but he would take like 2-3 weeks to get back
to respond.
Her. And
ain't nobody got time.
Special's over.
Yeah, ain't nobody right.
Money.
What are we doing?
And then her CRM is not working properly. And I know what a big problem that is because she's had at least 300 new clients and none of them have been added to her email list.
Oh my God.
So when she is blasting out her newsletters and her specials,
they're not even getting
to everybody.
The tea.
Exactly. Okay. So she had some issues. It's basically tools not working, integrations not working. And she couldn't even, delete a section off the website without being scared. Like she didn't want to do it.
Ooh,
because when they did do it, like sometimes you can't reverse it. Especially if you don't know what's going on. So yeah. So gotta help them out.
Gotta get the people together.
But yes, exactly. Everybody should have a smooth experience with their website. There should not be
but I think that people don't even necessarily believe that's possible. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they think that they have to spend, thousands and thousands of dollars or whatever to get it together versus you giving them the tools and empowering them to like be okay or whatever.
Right. I'm trying to figure out a way to, I don't know, maybe teach how to set up a website or something. For people who are wanting to do it themselves versus spending thousands of dollars, maybe they can go through this, and create their own landing page or something. But I'm thinking more on that, how to do that.
That's amazing. Asia, if you can hear me, I
can.
Girl, are you clear on your worldview and who you serve?
I am. So I help communities seeking healthier food access solve the problem of nutritionally depleted, disconnected eating by providing culturally rooted plant-based meals and wellness experiences so they can build healthier habits, stronger connections, and sustainable nourishment.
That's beautiful. And your worldview, what's your worldview? Like, why do we care about plant-based whatever?
My worldview is the soil and the environment is no longer providing what it did for our ancestors. So we have to put nutrition back on our plate.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Right there. This is where it's like, hold on. So what that does is that opens up a whole new set of conversations. Like, wait, what you mean? What happened to the soil? Our ancestors is like, it's like a whole world of conversation that's about to happen because of what you just said. The clarity. We need worldview, who we serve, our target audience, and the problem that we help them solve. If you can give me the clarity on that, and then as a bonus, clarity on the language. Like, what do they actually want? Because they don't want yoga and saunas and, spreadsheets and, whatever you have to do to fix a website. And, they don't want that. That's not what they wake up in the morning saying they want. What they want is, if you can fill that blank in, ... For my community, we want to be minus the evil, the John Rockefellers of our family. We want to change our family tree. We want to build so much wealth. We want to have $100,000 a month. We want to make $1 million, several $1 million. We want to be generational wealth. We want to lay it down for the family, the kids, everybody winning outside of these streets because of us. Okay. If you can define that, what problem are they facing? How are they really actually feeling right now? How do they describe themselves? What is your worldview, which Asia so beautifully demonstrated? And then what do they really want? If y'all give me clarity, if I need to be able to survey the room by Thursday, well, that's tomorrow. If I survey the room and I ask you them 4 questions, you should be able to just be like, and it should be no problem. Great. Then we're moving on, because then I'm going to tell you the secret sauce of what comes next. Okay. How to turn that into something that can happen on social media, something that happens, when you're in person. Like, if you meet somebody, what are you inviting them into? What's the call to action at the end of your 5-star pitch? All the things. Or maybe I need to motivate you to give you what you need, so you can start actually talking to humans. I need you, Desta, I need you to talk to 50 startup founders who have raised the Series Seed. They're between Series Seed and Series A. And they don't know what they're doing. As someone who raised a $2 million Series Seed, I can tell you, we don't know what we're doing. We need y'all, the Avengers, right? But what we do is we try to find them in our own network. We try to hire somebody. We try to get a consultant. It's bad out here. You need to talk to 50 of them and let them tell you their horror stories and their backdrop and this is what I think, this is what I know, and You need to talk to 5 or 10 or 15 people who run the different tech stars around the country. The different, what is the one other one? The 500, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. 500 something. And other people, JP Morgan, everybody got a little startup program. All of them need to know what you got going on. You need to write an ebook. You need to be writing articles. You need to be outside. You need to become a known entity. That's for everybody. A known entity in your space. And known for what? Your worldview. Most people in this space are talking about blah, 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 blah. But Dawn Avant is over here. She getting our whole life together. Okay? We got to create a narrative. How are these folks who are running the country right now able to run said country? Is because they are still on the point of trying to control the narrative. I mean, it's failing because we saw the video of whatever. But they're like, listen, the golden rule. Okay, the golden rule. It came from the Bible. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Okay, cool. Cool. That's cool. It's fine. It's whatever. But then capitalism, most people have heard this, not everybody, so I can't assume that you've heard it, but most people say, he who has the gold makes the rules. Okay, gotta be rich, gotta do something. Okay. Here's the real part. Whoever controls the narrative gets the gold. Everybody in power knows this. And that is why they have people on payroll who their only job, like you're literally paid to make sure that you get on national TV, as my mother would say, and tell me this is the official narrative. Nothing happened, nothing to see here. Everybody's fine. We're fine. We're good. Go ahead, continue, carry on about your lives. Nothing to see. Because they have to control the narrative. So you guys, what is the narrative about you and your company and your value out here in these streets? What are people saying about you? how many people are even talking about you? Are you even known? You know what I'm saying? So once we get this clarity, I'm going to show you how to be outside. I'm going to show you, if you show up in a room, if you do the networking events, because we got what, 10, 12 years, we got not years. No. Excuse me. 10 to 18 months. Yeah, if we're doing really good, we probably got like 3 years. I don't know. Go to my Substack to find out how bad it is out here. It's bad. But in the time we have remaining, if you can build a community of people who are, they know who you are to the point where I'm like literally looking for you. Like, what is Doll doing? What does Doll have to say about this? Like, y'all be sending me articles and stuff. Like, what is my ... How should I proceed in this? And they're actively thinking of you. I need you to have a couple thousand people checking for you like that. If you achieve that mark, you will never not make money. So on that note, with the all hearts and minds clear, y'all, we got to go. I mean, I'm over time. We got to go. You got something to say? Are we out? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anything? Anybody?